Hi YBR, it's Miss Megan. I'm here today. I'm gonna make some pizza rolls with you. Both my kiddos are actually taking a nap, so I'm using this time to get our pizza dough together. All right, so we're gonna begin. This recipe is gonna call for 1 cup of very, very warm water. You're gonna put that into your bowl, just like that. Just about 2 teaspoons of sugar. You're gonna sprinkle that into the water, okay? And you're gonna just mix it up a little bit so that the sugar dissolves. You wanna make sure that the sugar reacts with the yeast that you're gonna put in here, and it's gonna make something called bloom. And so we now have 1 tablespoon of yeast. And you're gonna sprinkle that right over the warm water and the sugar. And what's gonna happen is gonna be a chemical reaction that causes the sugar and the yeast to connect and mix. And you're gonna wanna let that sit for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's nice and foamy and bubbly. Our yeast has bloomed, so it's connected with the sugar and the warm water, and it's made a nice foamy concoction. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of oil of your choice. You pour that in there, and you're also gonna put about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna mix that into there. I like to add a little bit of Italian seasoning to mine, just because I think it gives the crust a little bit of an extra flavor. So we're gonna pour a little bit of that in here at this time. Perfect. From there, we're gonna add about 1.5 cups of flour. Okay, so you're gonna start off a little bit slower. 1.5, 1.25, and you're gonna mix that until it's all combined. Let's go ahead and mix it up. So it should be a really soft rag dough. From there, you're gonna just add flour, a little bit of it at a time, until it's super smooth and super elastic. You can start to use your hands at this point just to knead it together. And we'll go ahead, sprinkle just a little bit at a time. I like to use the spatula until it just won't mix up together anymore, and then I start to use my hands, and your hands will get messy for this. Kids love this part, so make sure that they help knead the dough. And so kneading is just mixing it together with your hands into a ball until it's a nice, soft, elastic dough. All right, so now that we've got a nice, stretchy, elastic dough, you're gonna wanna roll it into a nice ball. And it's okay if it's a little sticky at this point, you want it to be. You're gonna leave it in your bowl. You wanna cover it up with either plastic wrap or a nice towel. Flour sack towels work really great at this time. And you're gonna leave it in somewhere nice, warm, draft-free for about 30 to 40 minutes because you want it to double in size. Okay, so we've let this rise until it's been doubled. And you'll see the dough has gotten way bigger. So now it's gonna be really liquidy still. So you're gonna wanna add a little bit of flour onto the table that you're gonna roll it out. Add a little bit of flour to the top, and you're gonna start kneading again. Your hands will get dirty. Kids love this part. Definitely let them knead it up. You can each give them a little bit if you have more than 1 child. Okay, now that you've kneaded it into a nice little ball, you're gonna wanna roll it out into a big rectangle, as big as you can get, so that way you can roll it into the dough. And so I recommend flouring the tops of your flour, just using a little bit of flour onto your rolling pin, so that way it doesn't stick. Make sure that your oven is set to 350. Next up is you're gonna add some pizza sauce. So add as much as you like. My kids don't really like a lot of pizza sauce, so we don't use too much when we go and do this. I'm gonna spread that out. Once it's all spread out, what you're going to do is you're gonna add your toppings. So I've cut up some pepperoni here. My kids love pepperoni pizza. Make sure it's kind of even. These like to stick together, so I might have to spread them out. Just gonna add some bigger pieces in there. Okay, now we're gonna add some cheese. Mozzarella is the typical one for when you do pizza. Okay, so we're just gonna sprinkle the cheese all over. And again, make sure it's evenly coated all over your pizza. We're gonna roll this up kind of like how you would make cinnamon rolls and make some super fun snack size pizzas. All right, now that our toppings are all on, you're gonna wanna start from the top and you're gonna take and roll it up into a nice roll. It's gonna be kind of tricky, so go slow. Go. There we go. So I'm gonna take your prepared pan, and I have like a little cutter, so you're just gonna cut little rolls and place them upright onto your pan. You can flatten them down just a little bit with different sizes. So here you go. You keep making your pizza rolls, and we'll watch them bake next. Okay, so now that our pizza doughs are on the pan, we're gonna go ahead and bake them for about 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the thickness of your dough. You're gonna want a nice golden crust on them and all the cheese melted. And they might see a lot of leakage because they are open pizzas, but that just makes them better. Okay, here are your completed pizza rolls. So they're kind of all squished down. You can just take them off, let them cool for a second so that they're all ready to eat. Not gonna burn your little ones' mouths.